Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm here at the Gardens on behalf of Diggers. I've worked for Diggers for 5 years. I'm over from Adelaide because the Melbourne International Flower and Garden Show, why wouldn't you come? So we're showcasing our beautiful range of 8 varieties of sunflowers this year. And we've grown over 1,000 of them so that you can get to see all of the different varieties and how they compare.
And they're not all helianthus, are they?
We have one special one that's Italian white, and it's just gorgeous. It's got a chocolatey brown centre, and the petals are very pale, almost white, or a little bit buttery yellow today. And it's not one that's great for cut flowers, but it's multi-headed, so you get lots and lots of flowers from it. Beautiful in the garden.
Let's have a look at some.
Okay. That one is Evening Sun. It's a variable variety. As you can see, it's the bee's favourite, although I might say that about 3 varieties. And so, yeah, they're about 1.5 high generally. Multi-flowered, also make a really very great cut flower. Just in the back here, we have a little bit of the Italian white, which is the slightly different one. That's Helianthus debilis. Yeah, that's the one that's not so fabulous for cut flowers, but my goodness, look how many flowers there are on one stem.
And the bees are loving that as well.
I would call that one Moonwalker, which is a much taller variety. That one is a great cut flower, and it's also really fabulous for screening because it's high and it's broad, and there are heaps of big flowers.
So that's a 2-metre plant.
That's a 2-metre plant. Some of them, look, quite frankly, you would be better off giving each one a good stake, but they will reward you for your efforts because they're going to be nice and tall and keeping you in flowers for a while. Now, this one here is an anomaly this year. This is Italian white. Usually it's paler than that with that really gorgeous chocolatey centre. However, it's variable, and that is its variation this year. So that usually comes to around 1.4 metres tall, which is just, look, it's a lovely garden height. It's your intermediate flower. It's something you pop in front of your tall border.
So more compact growing. You could probably grow this one in a container of that height.
Well, look how well that's growing in a pot, but look also how many flower heads there are on that, and that hasn't even been pinched out. That's just its natural growth. So this one here, I think, is the absolute showstopper. This is Double Dazzler. And again, look, this has not been pinched out. And look how many flowers are on that, and more buds coming down lower. So that's about 1.5 high and just absolutely extraordinary. Just a show-stopping burst of colour.
And up the back here,
look, these are our giant Russians. And while that's what that looks like at the moment, because it's in a pot and so on, in the garden they can get to 3 metres tall and 50 centimetres across. They are a single-headed variety, but they're the best ones for eating, and they're also the best ones to feed your hens afterwards.
you're probably going to want to stake that one.
Look, I've seen them not staked and it wasn't great. The heads are so enormous, yes, that it makes it very difficult. But one of the best ways to eat them is to pick them when they're quite young, just as the outer petals are falling off, and then drizzle over a little bit of olive oil and a little bit of salt and pepper, and then put them face down on your barbecue and just cook them with the hulls and all before the hulls have hardened, and they are delicious.
The growing ones.
So these are our little special teddy bears. They're the kind of thing you can grow in a pot and then bring inside when they're in flower. Lots and lots of flowers on them. They'll flower up to 2 months for you, but big, fat, fluffy flowers children love because they're down at their height. Children love growing sunflowers full stop because they're so fast at growing, and they love having their pictures taken with them, quite frankly. But teddy bear are the little people's little size sunflower.
And top tips for growing sunflowers. When do we plant the seeds?
You want to do it as soon as the weather is warm enough. I would pop them in the ground when I was starting to think about planting my tomatoes. In a perfect world, I would store my seed in a snap block bag at the bottom of the back of the fridge until I were ready to plant them, and then I would soak them overnight and wait until the seeds sank in a glass. And once the seeds have sunk, it's time to pop them in the ground.
And how deep?
Oh, look, I I come from Adelaide, so we plant them just a touch deeper perhaps because, you know, it can get pretty hot on the soil on the surface. So I go about sort of 3 to 4 centimetres down perhaps.
Okay. And what sort of soil? The best you can get?
Oh, look, the more effort you put into your soil, the more gorgeous your garden is going to be. Feed your soil and your plants will take care of themselves.
Fertilise these?
Yes, because that's running a marathon. We want them to do that big run of big flowers for as long as possible. So, yeah, absolutely. If you want to run a marathon, you need to eat like you're running a marathon.
And then when the flowering season's over, you can save your seeds and grow them next year. But if you want to get these varieties...
We are selling most of them here today, and there's a couple of varieties that we had a really good crop of, but not quite enough to sell, so we've replanted those so that we've got good stock seed, and they will come online. So if you go online and click on the Notify Me button, you'll get an email as soon as they are up and ready for sale, and off you go.
So if you want some different varieties, go to the Diggers website.
Correct.
And you'll find them, but you want to buy the seeds middle of the year sort of thing?
Oh, look.
By the winter?
I say get in early for everything. If you see them, grab them, because often once it's time to plant them, they sell out very quickly.
They may not be there next week.
They may not be there next week. And getting back to your earlier point about seed saving, everything we do is heirloom apart from 5 varieties of corn. So everything you're able to save your own seed from and grow again next year. And every year that you do that, your seed will improve in your environment.
We'd like to thank Sarah and the Diggers Club for this wonderful display of sunflowers. There's links to their website in the notes below the video. Subscribe to the YouTube channel for regular updates on a whole range of garden plants. And as always, good luck with your gardening.